even watching Peacemaker, and Ant even decided to kind of like it a little bit towards the end. I'm curious if you all were able to see the finale or not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw the finale. All right. Do we
Yeah,
have
we
feelings
saw it.
about okay.
Well.
Uh,
Okay.
I'm all right. I'm gonna put this up, and I'm gonna get our reaction on the finale. Now, Ty and Minnie and I did have this conversation not too long ago, but I didn't get a chance to speak with y'all about it. So I'm gonna take this down, and we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get you guys to answer yes or no, or a thumbs up, thumbs down. What your thoughts on the finale was? Just the finale, not the season,
Okay.
not the concept, not episodes 1 through X. Just the last episode. I'm gonna go ahead and take this down. Let's go ahead and get y'all reactions in 3, 2, 1. Y'all ain't yo. Okay, so I see we on the same page, which is interesting because I for one am interested in hearing Ant, because I feel like Ant, you came from not liking it to having a feeling for it. But Kira, we haven't heard much from you as well. So if you could please, why is it meh for you?
I really wanted him to bring this home as far as the controversial reveal of that world. I expected a lot more of Adebayo being put forward in this. I feel like that ball got dropped significantly. She absolutely should have had a more prominent role in this finale. And you only got a glimpse of her doing that for maybe a total of 3 minutes.
Right.
It's very, very easy for me to say she should have been the leader in that alternate world, in the what is it, World X, whatever you want to call it, Earth X. She was definitely put in a position of leadership in the last 3 minutes of the show, but not actively like saying it. Adebayo, right. We need you to lead us to go and get Chris. We need you to rally up the troops. We need you to come up with a plan, because who the fuck else knows the intricate, workings of Argus that has actual leadership capabilities aside from Adebayo? They don't have anybody on the outside. They state she is the only connection to. I don't think she'd want to use her mama, but they could have used her. I feel like they limped into what the next movie or series is going to be about. It was all right. It was all right. It was nice to get a few things, a little bit of closure on things. Her monologues for me actually saved the episode from being a thumbs down. The last that talk that she had with Chris when all of them are in the hotel room with him, that saved it for me.
Okay. All right. Ant, similar feelings?
Listen up. New Blerd. Oh, hold on. Can I do it again? Hey, check out.
I'm just pushing buttons over here, man. I'm glad I ain't got the nuclear codes, because we'd have been dead as hell. Boy. I'm just pushing all kind of shit, man. But yeah, man. Oh, man. And what's your thoughts on the finale? On what it do, man? What it do?
Oh my goodness. Where do I start?
Ooh,
so the finale, I get it to a degree. A lot of TV shows do that. They really have their big action right in the penultimate episode, but the finale was just too slow paced for me. After everything that we had been doing throughout the season, we've steadily built up steam. It was just a little too slow paced for me. I get it. I said it before, James Gunn, I feel like he writes himself into his stories, and this was him indulging in the things that he loves. He wanted to have that moment where Chris sat down and confessed his love, and Harcourt was able to reciprocate it a little bit, and he wanted to write those emotions. I think one time he even admitted his favorite moments to write were between Chris and Harcourt. So I get it. He got to indulge in himself, but it just wasn't for me. I really, really, really wanted to see something that matched that energy that we had been doing, or at least the pacing.
Yeah.
I also didn't really like that ending where they just drop Chris off in some whole other, like, what is that? Like,
yes. Like, what the fuck? Y'all got money. I know y'all are poor, but y'all got money. Y'all couldn't give us a peek of something, like even like a glowing eye in the like, give me something, homie.
that was the park. That was the park. That was literally the park down the block. Like, they didn't even know, but nothing was spent.
No. I wanted to say, I saw an interview with James Gunn. Peacemaker is actually his dad. That's who he's got a little bit of this after, because when he was talking about Adebayo calling Chris, you're big, dumb, and stupid, but I know that you love me. That was the description that he used for his dad.
I guess I could get that. I could dig it.
Probably a little bit of him mixed in there too, obviously. But that's yeah.
Well, check it out. I feel the same way y'all do. I will say that our special guest Minnie, who did show on me, Ty, and Minnie's breakdown of this podcast, he read the comic and he actually delved a little bit into what that universe is. I'm not going to spoil it right now because we probably won't delve deep into this moment, since we got a special guest pulling up in a little bit. But there was some hints, and this is also the dude who told Ty like 2 episodes in advance that they were going to Nazi world. And he was like, "No, they're not." And then next thing you know, so I'll say this in terms of my level of disappointment. My level of disappointment spurs from the setup and then the fall off of that setup. Like, we literally got introduced to a Nazi universe, right? And we had a black woman running away from it. But what did James Gunn do? It felt like he shied away from how ugly that universe could be. Right? I feel like we didn't get the details as to why it was so important. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of moved by that little blue dragon speech, whatever that blue chew dude. And even though he kind of looked like the Tick a little bit, I just feel like it was underwhelming, and I didn't need that last 15 minutes. I want to shout out to, who was that comment I saw it from? Somebody, yeah, here it is, Metatron. The last 15 minutes was a personal show that they could have done at his mansion. It literally was like, it was 2 different bands that he had, and it felt like he paid all of these extras just to watch his childhood dreams of a band perform in front of him and his wife for him personally. And I felt like it was a little selfish. Yeah. Then the whole, the my son, and then you're just gonna leave this dude in a whole nother universe, and that's your payback for the son. Like, I don't know, man. I would want to hit him, smack him, punch him in the stomach, cuss him out, say some bad words, talk about his mama. He didn't do none of that. So it just felt a little. It felt like James Gunn by the I hate this word, but I'm gonna try to use it anyway. Shout out to our guest. We're gonna see in a second. It feels like by the penultimate. Did I say that right? Penultimate,
yeah.
By the penultimate episode, he had already moved on to the next project. That's what it felt like to me. Am I tripping? Like, he was like, "All right, we got that out the way. This last episode is basically kind of just a thank you to the audience and to the staff for letting us come into your lives, because we've already gotten some word that there ain't no season 3. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no season 3. So at this point, it's like, bro, you don't got to give us fan service. Give us good service, right? Give us good service. What's the purpose of sitting there doing all that? It was unnecessary. It was so silly. I'm sorry. We don't know who the green monster is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. There's so many things we don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. I feel like this was also his way of landing the episode, so the hype wouldn't be pushed up too high for another episode of Peacemaker. I think that's something that's a strategy to do, because he's dropped off in the middle of this world. You also don't feel that there's a little bit of a, all right, I'm over this shit now. You know what I mean? So he doesn't have that pressure of making a 3rd season. Nobody is actively chomping at the bit for another, what is it, 11th Street Kids? There is an urge to move on from this, so that might be his play. However, I don't appreciate the fact that the chick that's the Rick Flag Sr., the love interest or the girl Friday,
Sasha Bordeaux.
Yeah. what the fuck was that fucking goddamn storyline? What the fuck was that? That shit, that type of trope annoys the fuck out of me. Stop using women to progress stories in a sexual manner like that. She's super smart.
Okay.
She didn't need to be his love interest in order to get this information from him in order to be closer. He basically chose her already. She was already chosen to be a part of this because he thought that she was the best person for the job and was going to be his right-hand man, woman, whatever. To throw in the now we're fucking trope. What? Not necessary. She's smart. She's capable. She clearly knows how to get a job done when somebody doesn't push the target out of the way. There was no reason to introduce that into this. There could have been a slow burn or realization for her to ultimately say, I was with you until you did this weird shit. Why are we doing a metahuman Nazi world here? That's not what I signed up for. I was cool with you getting your revenge on Peacemaker, but all the metahumans, what's going on, Charlie?
Yeah.
What how did we get here? That does not need to involve her sleeping with him.
I do think it's funny that this is a good point actually, because I mean, you don't always have to use. They did this with Rosario Dawson and Luke Cage, and you know what I'm saying, like they've used women kind of as a catalyst to kind of put things together, but normally through relationships as opposed to through their significance. But it is funny that that scene kind of stuck out to you when there was a whole orgy. You're asking a dude to put on a whole orgy where people sniffing coke off each other to have class. I don't know. Anyway,
that's different. That's different. First of all, if you're gonna have gratuitous sex, let it be what it is. But to then have it be a targeted thing like that, it did not elevate the series. It didn't do anything to move the story along.